make sure that the game is balanced, we need to be able to, every time we make tweaks, we have to be able to make sure that we didn't break anything. Because oftentimes, you know, you'll fix something like, you'll tweak the speed that the quarterback backpedals at. And, you know, you'll look at some passing plays and it'll look fine, and then you realize, oh my god, it broke, you know, play actions or something. They're getting sacked all the time. And you need to be able to test this out. We also want to be able to find bugs in the simulation. With so, you know, AI is really complicated, and with so much stuff happening, you need some automated way to be able to work it out. And you also want to test the performance, because the last thing you want is for somebody to put in some new algorithm and discover that it runs really, really slowly and it's killing all your servers in production. Because we're never going to be able to put the load in QA that a full production server would have. So we have this thing called the statistics tester. Basically, it runs on a server. It takes all the tunable values that the regular simulator takes, and it runs any combination of plays that we want and generates a report. It's pretty useful. It's pretty extensible. We can have n number of these. Right now we actually have 10 different servers configured to do this. And our designers use them. They pretty much have them running constantly. To do a full run of every possible play combination, there's actually fewer play combinations than this, obviously, because you're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna test a kickoff against a prevent defense, but to test every reasonable play combination, and you know, you don't just want to do one test, you want to do each one tens of times to make sure you get statistically meaningful answers. It takes on the order of 4 days. So, you know, if you split it up into multiple servers, you make that go much quicker. Real-time asset tweaking. This is the kind of thing which PC game developers, I think, take for granted. If you've ever made a console game, that's pretty awesome that you can see everything in the Unity editor, change shader values, see how it degrades on older hardware. The director system is something we use to trigger things happening in the game. And what are these things? Well, there's the voiceover, you know, when the announcer says he's taking it up the middle. There's the particular camera angle that we're looking at, you know, it depends on whether he passes or whether he runs. Notifications, so you get the touchdown or the sack. And the play-by-play. Play-by-play, what's different than voiceover is there's many different commentary streams going simultaneously. And how this essentially works is we've got a whole bunch of different things that can happen. So we have these events, which the simulator can trigger. And then this is a massive spreadsheet which has probably 100 different columns of different things that can happen. So you can see right here, the announcer's going to go, the offense recovers, it's a close call, it'll happen when there's a fumble recovery but not a turnover. And there's all sorts of other things we can trigger based on the score differential, based on whether it was the home team or the away team, based on n number of things. This is actually compiled, this is all done server side, it's compiled into massive, part of our data builder compiles into massive data files. And then the simulator uses this to generate events. And this is cool because it's a completely data-driven way for the designers to script what happens in the game.
Going back, so you said there's 67,000 different possible combinations of offensive and defense.
Yeah, there's slightly fewer than that because there's actually probably more than that because there's just offensive and defense. It doesn't have special teams. But
okay, so how many of those had animation?
So the animations aren't really tied to at the play granularity. They're more tied to the moves that the specific players are doing. So pretty much every play has a handoff. But not every play has a pass. Sorry, not every play has a snap, but not every play has a pass.
Okay.
So, final thing I want to talk about were some of the problems we had. Does anybody love the Unity GUI system?
Come to love it.
Obviously, multiple developers, when there's one scene that's got your actual game, it's always a bottleneck. We didn't come up with any effective or elegant solution to that problem. We originally thought every programmer would have their own personal scene and they just make modules which would get integrated into the general game scene. So that didn't work. The way we ended up doing it is people yell at each other. That's the opposite. Memory profiling. I could rant, but I'll spare you. Rendered Flash over Unity. Yeah, that would be nice. And just general stability. We noticed often we'd import a Max file and it would just crash. We've figured out a big culprit for this is when we would branch those meta files that Unity wants to put with everything. Don't know why that would crash it.
They just tell you not to.
Yeah, so we stopped doing it. It's still not perfect, but most people who rely on our build process know when it's time to grab us.
Try FBX files.
We use FBX files. Yeah, we export them from Max.
Yeah. There's also FBX updates that have to happen now and then.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The API that Max provides is actually an FBX API, and your FBX file can go to a bad state, and our artists actually have to build on that.
Yeah.
That's it. Anybody have any questions? Yes?
You mentioned 40-second delay time when the game is loading.
40-second load time, yeah.
40-second load time? Have you looked into local storage?
Yes, so Unity actually does have a caching
I didn't
solution.
Unity local storage, but I meant HTML5 local storage.
Oh, I guess we haven't looked into that because typically in a web browser the only local storage you have is the cache. We haven't really converted to HTML5 yet. The problem is the most important the time when that load matters most is the first game.
Yeah.
Because that's when you get abandonment. And obviously it has to fill the local storage. It has to go into the wire the first time. So I mean I think the main solution was is figuring out a way to shrink our assets. 40 seconds isn't bad, and we've noticed the most abandonment in other parts of our pipeline, like when people register, or between the first and the second game. So it's not what we're focusing on too closely right now, but it's definitely something we can improve. That we want to improve.
What's the balance of Flash to Unity players?
It depends. It depends if you're asking. Overall, it's about it's a little less than 50% Unity. But if you're looking at the number of games played, there's more played in Unity. If you're looking at
Higher value with Unity
the
players?
value of the microtransaction value of the players in Unity, it's significantly higher so far.
So all the stuff you talked about, how many person years is that? I mean, or 10, 100, 1,000? Roughly, what are we talking about here?
We had, so on the Unity project, it took us 9 months from start to finish. We had 4 people full-time, and then there were shared resources in the rest of the company. So that doesn't include the AI, for example. We also used outsourcing, so we had one artist in-house, and he made our models.
And that was starting from scratch or starting from a previous Flash version?
Starting from the Flash version.
So you had all your simulations, all that stuff was all done. Your core simulator was
It was functional. I think if you were to compare the game now to where it was a year ago, we've continued to improve other parts of the company simultaneously. But yeah, we had a running start.
So this is order 10, in other words, not 100, which is a person years.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Did that get?
Have you thought about using the browser to leverage, a lot of the result sets that you're getting? Maybe switch from XML to JSON since it's kind of smaller and the browser has native C processing on it.
The result set is XML, but those data services I briefly mentioned are actually in JSON.
Oh, okay.
The thing is the XML compresses a lot because so much of it's repeated data, and the JSON will probably compress to something equivalent.
Okay. I was thinking about the way it compresses equivalently, and also when you bring it into the browser, all the browsers now support native JSON processing, so you get a real big speed kick there. It's not even JavaScript processing, it's
So
just,
the problem is we actually want to rely on the browser as little as possible.
okay, so
because,
you don't want to do that.
browsers are awful,
Yeah.
splintered beasts that are liable to change out from under your feet at any point in time. I mean, when Unity rolled out 3.0, it actually would not do external JavaScript calls in Internet
Yeah.
Explorer, which is kind of a big bug to ship with, I think.
So it does support a lot of cross-browser, from the embedded component, the
The way
Unity
we
component.
make it work is Unity is basically a program that is running in a browser.
Right,
All
will
the
it-
socket connections goes directly to Unity.
Yeah.
Unity doesn't rely on the browser for anything.
But can it now communicate with the browser
It
better?
can.
JavaScript, okay.
I mean, it's got to be. If you're gonna have something that you're saying is a web widget, you have to allow it to make external
Yeah.
JavaScript calls. I think
What's the version?
bug that they ship with
What's the latest version of the web player?
3.1F4 is it?
I think 4 came out today.
Okay. But this was version 3.0G, I think, 3.0C. The version that they shipped with when they said Unity 3 is out had this bug.
Sorry, same
Yeah.
topic. When you process the XML, the results, you write two sets of code, one in Flash and one in the Unity.
No,
you-
that's what I was talking about. We didn't want to do that,
Yeah.
so we just have one protocol and it works in both of them.
Okay. ActionScript versus.
Yeah.
versus
The hard part was what I was talking about, the animations.
Yeah.
So we actually figured out a way to generate those tile sheets from the max files.
Yeah.
So the assets are always in sync.
But the action